Imagine this. You're lying in bed late at night, staring at the ceiling. Your mind is racing, but there's only one thought that seems to dominate every other: her. She's on your mind constantly, even though deep down, you know that holding on to these feelings isn't good for you. You're stuck in an emotional limbo, replaying every moment, every conversation, and wondering how to let go. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. We've all been there. Today, I want to help you navigate this difficult but essential process of losing feelings for someone who isn't right for you. It's not easy, but it is necessary for your personal growth and happiness. By the end of this video, you'll have the clarity, the steps, and the mindset to move forward in life, free from emotional baggage. Why you want to lose feelings. First, let's talk about why you want to lose these feelings in the first place. Maybe she's simply not good for you. Deep inside, you recognize that the relationship is toxic or draining. She might be a person you care deeply about, but over time you've come to realize that her actions, behavior, or mindset just don't align with what you need. Maybe she's manipulative or never prioritizes you the way you do her. Or perhaps she's emotionally unavailable. Either way, something doesn't feel right. Another reason could be that you're not happy with her anymore. Relationships evolve, and sometimes people change. It could be that she was once perfect for you, but now you've grown apart. You realize you're not compatible anymore, and every interaction feels forced. Instead of being in a relationship that lifts you up, you feel weighed down, dissatisfied, and emotionally disconnected. Then there's the simple but powerful fact that you deserve better. You deserve someone who appreciates you for who you are, someone who gives as much as they take. Staying hung up on someone who isn't contributing to your happiness keeps you from finding the love and respect you're truly worthy of. Remember, losing feelings isn't about bitterness or anger. It's about recognizing your worth and stepping away from something that no longer serves you. The challenges of losing feelings. Before we dive into the steps on how to lose feelings, let's address the elephant in the room. This is going to be hard. Feelings don't just disappear overnight. You'll feel sad, and that's okay. After all, letting go of someone you cared about is like mourning a loss. You might experience waves of sadness, and some days will be harder than others. It's important to acknowledge this emotion rather than suppress it. The sadness is a natural part of the healing process. You may also feel lonely. Especially if she was a big part of your life, there will be a void where she once was. It might be tempting to reach out to her, to rekindle old conversations, or even stalk her social media just to feel connected. But this will only deepen the loneliness in the long run. The goal is to fill that void with something positive and fulfilling. And then there's guilt, probably one of the most complex emotions in this process. You might feel guilty for wanting to move on, especially if she didn't do anything wrong. Maybe she's a nice person, but she's just not right for you. Or maybe you feel guilty for ending things after investing so much time and energy into the relationship. But remember, staying in a situation that doesn't make you happy will only lead to more pain in the future, for both of you. Steps to lose feelings. Now that we've laid the groundwork, let's get into the steps. It's not a magical formula, but following these actions will set you on the path to emotional freedom. 1. Stop thinking about her. Easier said than done, right? The truth is, the more you try to force yourself not to think about someone, the more they seem to linger in your mind. The trick isn't to try to block out all thoughts of her, but to redirect your focus. Think about what brings you joy, your passions, your hobbies, your goals. Make your life so rich with experiences and personal growth that there's simply no room for thoughts about her. Immerse yourself in activities that require your full attention. Hit the gym, learn something new, or dive into a project you've been putting off. Mindfulness can help too. Every time your thoughts wander back to her, gently redirect them to the present moment. Ground yourself in what's happening right now, whether it's feeling the weight of your feet on the floor or listening to the hum of the world around you. Staying present helps cut through the endless mental loop of obsessing over someone who's no longer part of your life. 2. Avoid seeing her. As tempting as it might be to casually bump into her, whether that's in person or online, the best way to lose feelings is to create distance. This means unfollowing her on social media, muting her updates, and avoiding places you know she frequents. Out of sight, out of mind might sound cliché, but there's truth to it. The more you're exposed to her, the more your feelings will persist. This is especially important when it comes to social media. Seeing her post a happy photo with friends, or worse, with someone new, will only set you back in your journey to move on. You don't need to block her completely if that feels extreme, but give yourself the space to heal without constant reminders of her presence. 3. Delete her contact information. One of the hardest steps, but also one of the most crucial. Delete her number, her text thread, her photos, anything that allows easy access to her. It's tough to delete memories, but holding on to them will only prolong your healing. If the thought of deleting everything feels too harsh, try archiving things in a folder where you won't be tempted to look at them regularly. Just make sure it's not easily accessible. Deleting her contact information isn't just symbolic, it's a literal way of cutting off an emotional crutch. Without her number, there's no drunk texting, no late-night what-if calls. It's about removing the temptation to reconnect in moments of weakness. And in doing so, you're sending a message to yourself. I'm moving on. This chapter is closed. Or, break up with her, if you haven't already. If you're still in contact with her, especially in a romantic context, it's time to break up. This doesn't necessarily mean a dramatic sit-down conversation if things are already fizzling out, but you need to make a clean break. Ambiguity in relationships is one of the biggest obstacles to moving on. If you're still hanging out, still texting, or still keeping the door open, then how can you fully lose feelings? Be honest with her and yourself. Explain that you need time and space to work on yourself and move forward. Ending things clearly and decisively is one of the first steps to emotional freedom. 5. Fill the void. After you've created that distance, it's time to focus on yourself. You've probably heard this a million times, but it's true. Self-improvement is key. Use this newfound time and energy to pursue your passions. Do things you enjoy and surround yourself with people who uplift you. Reconnect with friends you may have neglected while focusing on her. Start setting personal goals and challenge yourself. Whether that's getting into better shape, developing a new skill, or pursuing a career change, filling the void left by her absence with self-growth will not only help you lose feelings faster, but also make you a better version of yourself. The benefits of losing feelings. Now that you've gone through the process of losing feelings, let's talk about the light at the end of the tunnel. Once you've detached emotionally, you'll find that you're happier. That constant cloud of doubt, frustration, or longing will lift. You'll start to feel lighter, more energized, and more positive about your life. You'll also be more fulfilled. By focusing on yourself, you're filling your life with activities and people who contribute to your happiness and growth. You're not relying on someone else for validation or emotional support. You're finding it within yourself. This is where true fulfillment comes from, being in control of your own happiness. Finally, losing feelings for someone who wasn't right for you opens you up to new possibilities. Once you've made peace with the past, you'll be more open to new relationships. And when that right person comes along, you'll be emotionally ready to connect on a deeper, healthier level. Conclusion. Losing feelings for someone is one of the most challenging emotional journeys you'll face, but it's also one of the most rewarding. It's not about erasing someone from your memory, but about acknowledging what's no longer serving you and having the courage to move forward. Remember, every ending is a new beginning, and by letting go, you're making room for something better in your life. Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe to Motivlux for more content like this, where we guide you through life's toughest challenges and help you become the best version of yourself.